Well, I have a little bit of fun with this. I hope you will too. If this is not going to be kind of your run-of-the-mill presentation, because we're going to have some fun and talk to each other a little bit. I hope you'll give me some feedback in the chat box, because I got a lot of information to give you, and I'm going to check in with you once in a while just to make sure you're following along. I don't want this to be like a train that leaves the station and you're kind of chasing after it, holding on to your hat. I want you to be on the train, all right? We're going to get nice and comfortable, and we're really going to get down to the business of learning this market, all right? I know why you're here already. We can dispense with that. You're here to make some more money. If you're trading already, you want to find that breakthrough thing that gives you that clarity, that confidence. I'll tell you real quick where I'm coming from. Like I said, by the time I'm done with you in an hour, you're going to have this in your pocket. You're going to know more about making money flat out in this market than 99% of the people on the planet. It's a formula, so there's no secret, okay? I'm going to show you exactly how we do it. Then you're going to see exactly how you're going to do it, all right? Step by step, it's really that simple. And you're going to try it for 60 days with a little bit of our help and see if you can do it right alongside us, all right? At the end, I'll tell you how much it is and how to get started, and we might as well get going. But know this. All right, yes, I'm going to give you a lot of info, but I can't tell you everything there is to know. I don't think you'd expect that anyway. But the fact is, you don't have to know everything to get started. You don't have to know everything to get yourself on the bike and do some trading, okay? If you want to get from point A to point B, okay, like when you were a kid, what'd you do? You got on the bike, you learned how to ride it. You wobbled a little at first maybe, but mom or dad was there to hold on to the seat till you got your balance. I'm going to do the exact same thing here. Okay, that's really how we've built our business over the last 22 years, and it's just flat out a model that works. Now, before we start, I got to know something about you, okay? Because I don't think you just get into the car and start driving it without an idea of where the heck you want to go. So when it comes to your trading, when it comes to how you're going to add it into your daily life, okay, my question for you is this: how much do you need to get out of this exercise on a monthly basis? And there's a number that I think you have in mind. Some of you might want to add 1,000 or 2 to what you're doing in your day job. That's fine, okay? Some of you are thinking, well, I want this to be my day job. I need a little more than that to cover my monthly nut. What's the number that you're looking for, all right? So that I at least have a benchmark for you, and I know where you're trying to go. All right, go ahead and type in the number if you don't mind. That lets me get to know you a little bit more, what the heck you need to get out of this, all right? And then I'll tell you what we're going to achieve doing this thing. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to get a sip of water real quick. All right, 1,000, 3,500, 3,000, 5,000, going a little higher, quick 1,000 a month. All right, so what are you looking to do? Little breathing room, little spending money for a lot of you. Okay, 8,000, that's a nice number. 10,000, that's another one. All right, 1,500 would cover the mortgage, no problem. Okay, listen, the average student, okay, here is looking to make between $2,000 and $8,000 a month. Okay, so that's not an unreasonable number at all. But here's the million-dollar question. All right, if I can show you a couple of strategies today, all right, in a market that's easy to get started in. I'll show you how to open an account. I'll show you how to do this whole thing. You don't have to have a whole lot of money to get started either, okay? But if I can show you a couple of strategies today, all right, where you can apply them to make that $2,000 to $8,000 a month, and not just once, but every month, okay? My question for you is this: would you commit 30 minutes a day to mastering this? All right, I'm not talking about turning your life upside down. All right, I'm not even talking about changing what you're doing, just maybe adding a little bit to it. But I'm going to need 30 minutes a day, all right, for you to be able to master this. And if it meant making 3,000 or 8,000 or whatever number you gave me a month, would you give me the 30 minutes? That's kind of the million. It's a commitment question, okay? And I got to know if you'd be willing to do that, to master this. Not be good at it, not dabble in it, master it. Just give me 30 minutes. What do you think? Would you do that? That's yes or no. Sure, right? Right, Johnny, for 3,500, I'll give you my 30 minutes, because I got to let you know, gang, trading's a good time and all that, but the bag of money's not going to fall from the sky. And I think you know that already. You got to do a little something to go get it. All right? I'm going to show you some things that you can do every day, right? Repeatable things, right? Month after month, right? 30 minutes a day. And you're going to be able to pull off that number that you gave me. I don't want you to forget the number, right? It's important. When I show you the math on this, you're going to have to sort of put a few pieces together. But once you do, you're going to see that you're going to be able to pull that off. All right, Market Traders Institute. That's where I'm coming from. I know where you are. I'm in Orlando. All right, I'm at a 70,000 square foot training and trading facility. We've been in the business of training new traders for 22 years in the Forex market. All right, at this point, we got about 30,000 of them worldwide. Now, how do we get there? How do we get to the point where we're the biggest in the industry? All right, with the most trained students, getting mentioned in Inc. magazine. They talk about us the same time they talk about Microsoft. It's real simple. All right, we deliver results. And when you come to a workshop, when you come to a trading idea, results mean the same thing to you that they do to me, okay? We're looking for dollars, all right? More at the end of the week or the month than we started with. That's results. And when you get them, there's enthusiasm. You tell a couple of people. They come to us, they tell a couple of people. That's how we got to be one of the fastest growing companies in the world. Now listen, I'm a big fan of enthusiasm because you need it, all right? Sometimes the market, you got to get up, you got to be enthused to go tackle it, right? But I'm not a big fan of hype and sizzle and all that other nonsense. I think you're too smart for that to begin with, okay? You want to see some meat on the bone. Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what results I'm talking about, okay? So if you're ready for that, you're in the right place because I'm just going to talk plain about it, all right? And I kind of learned to talk plain about it from this guy. Let me just give you a quick introduction to the guy that steers the ship around here. That's the chief. That's Jared Martinez. Some of you might have seen him before on CNBC, maybe Fox Business. Let me just tell you, early on in trading the Forex, he had huge success. He got all the interviews. He got a lot of attention. A lot of people were coming to him saying, hey, you're having success. What do you think about helping me? His first thought was to write a Forex trading book, and he did, right, to help as many people as possible, and the book became a bestseller. But here's what he found out. A lot of the people that got the book were coming back to him. Now, they appreciated the information, they appreciated the strategies, but what they were asking him beyond that is there a way we could do something together, work together, do something direct and live and hands-on? What were they asking? Can I trade with you? Okay? That's why he started this group, because knowledge is one thing, but taking that action step, okay, that's just a different animal entirely. And most people, right, who want to do some trading, they want to kind of borrow a little expertise to get them started. That's just a sensible way to do things. And when you find somebody that's got some experience and some track record, that's the person that you want to mentor after. So that's why he started this group. And now that you got the background, let me just introduce you to me, the voice you'll be listening to for the next hour, and we're going to hit the gas pedal right after that, okay? That's my smiling face. I'm Joe Cavallaro, been trading markets since I graduated college, all right, back in '94. And at this point, I'm licensed in all of them, all right? Stock options, commodities, futures, and Forex. I've been a principal at a couple of places. I've traded 7- and 8-figure accounts for a few of them, managed a few trading desks. All right, yay, good for me. Why am I telling you that? Number one, so that you know that you're listening to a qualified source, okay? Nobody wants to spend an hour on a webinar and it's, you know, with some new person. I've been there, okay? But I need to let you know that I didn't start with all these resume items, okay? My first job wasn't that glamorous. I was a clerk on the floor of the American Stock Exchange, okay? Now, what did that mean? That meant I wasn't doing the trading, but I was collecting all the tickets from 7, 8, 9 traders on the floor during the business day. All right, this is back when we used to use pencil and paper. Now, my job was to collect those tickets, right, run over to the corner where there was a metal time clock, and I had to give each of those tickets a time stamp, okay? The brokers would send me for coffee, right? I'd have to pick up their dry cleaning. Not very glamorous, and for all that, I got paid, ready, $250 a week, okay? Living in New York, $250 a week wasn't real good money. All right. In fact, I was sharing a apartment with 4 of my buddies. Now, we all had the same idea. All right. We knew there was opportunity. Right. We had to be near it. We had to be around it. Right. It was just a matter of having that breakthrough. And what happened for me, just real quick, was there was a day that a couple of the traders said to me, "Hey, you come over here. We like you. All right. We're going to show you how to do this." And that was the day that changed the trajectory really of my life. All right, now I've been a trader for 22 years, but the fact is my first trade was 100 shares of Netscape. All right, I had the sweaty palms, right? I was excited. I had the beads of sweat rolling down my forehead. Why? Well, it wasn't just about excitement, but I got to tell you, gang, that 100 shares of Netscape, that was my rent money. Okay, so I had to have this work because I didn't have a whole lot of room for error. Okay, and the fact of the matter is, if you identify with that right now, that you have to have this work because you want to go make that money. Okay, good. But if you don't have a whole lot of room for error, I get it. So everything that I'm going to do for you today is going to be as if you were me back then. Okay, not a lot of room for error. And understand, I know where you're coming from, and it's fine. Okay, you're in a great place. You're closer than you think to huge. All right, you're 90% of the way there just by being here today. I just got to get you over the hump. All right, understand, success isn't a fantasy, it's a formula. I'm going to give you the formula today, repeatable things that you can do. And I got to overcome what I call inertia. All right, most people who trade or try trading, you know what they do? They do 3 trades total. And they spend a grand total of 3 hours at this before they give up. They throw in the towel. They go back to their regular 8 to 5. Okay? I don't know what happened. Maybe they lost interest. Maybe they lost a few dollars. But the fact is, they didn't get past the first 3 trades. I got to get you over that hump. I got to grab you by the arm and drag you over there. Okay? Because if I can get you past the first 3 trades, and you're trading not with your rent money, right? But the house's money, trading with some profit, right? Not your house's money, but theirs. That's when the fun begins, okay? So that's what I'm going to be here to do for you today. This is a right market as far as I'm concerned because it's the big pile of money. It's the currency market. It's all the money, right? It's $5 trillion a day. So my job here is to see if I can't get you to reach into that pile, right, and grab a couple of those dollars out and stick them into your column. All right, the people you trade with is going to be a big deal. You're not going to learn to trade from a book any more than you learn how to ride a bike or learn to swim from a book, okay? Trading's a skill. Riding a bike's a skill. You got to get on the bike. You got to get in the water, okay? You're going to learn as you go. You're going to trade as you go. And the person that's there with you, guiding you, right, just like when you were riding a bike, learning how to swim, right, that's the person that's going to help you learn the skills so you can get from here to there. I'll put some stuff right on your desk today. Okay, some educational tools, a software program. I'm going to let you mess with it for a couple of months, but I'm going to show it to you today. Then I'll give you a download link for it, all right? Your team's going to be assembled. Last thing has to be you showing up. Now, you're here today, you showed up. Great. What's going to keep you showing up? Numbers, okay? If you start getting results quickly, that means the commitment part sort of takes care of itself. All right, and I'm absolutely cognizant of that. I get it. I'm excited for you because I know what you want to do, man, and I understand it because I've lived it. Now I want you to come along, all right, like Chuck did. He kind of took a step forward and said, all right, I'm going to do this, okay? First day out of the gate, yeah, he had some success. Well, guess what? He set his alarm early for the second day. And Moretti said, look, I've been at this a couple weeks, but I'm making good money. All right, I made $2,500. There aren't too many places you can even have that conversation, right? $2,500 2 weeks from now, but you can have it here. So let's have it. All right, let's talk Forex for a second. Now, some of you got some experience. Some of you, this might be new. I know you just heard an options presentation. So I at least have to cover a couple of basics. But what you need to know, gang, is the Forex is built for success. You don't have to bring a lot of money to the table. It's liquid, so you can move in and out of it quickly. It's more liquid than any other market, and it's open around the clock. Upside's huge. Downside, you can protect yourself with some automation, okay? And if I put this together, listen, if I put this together the right way for you today, I'm not going to have to convince you of a darn thing, okay? You're too smart for that anyway. I got to convey enough information to you so that this makes sense. You say to yourself, you know what, I can do that. I'm going to give myself a shot at it. All right, and at the end of the day, it's easy to understand because there's not a whole lot to learn. All right, stock market, you got 6,000 stocks. Currency market, how about we just have a list of 6 and call it a day? All right, that's your list. And if you want to take a look at this, just write these down. All right, you're familiar with these anyway: Canadian, Euro, Pound, Yen, Swiss, Australian. Okay, I want you to write those down and let that be your list. Now, are there other currencies? Of course. All right, but we're going to concentrate, we're going to build a foundation for you today on those 6. And if you got those written down, we can keep going. All right, and I think you know more about currencies than maybe you think you do, because if you've ever been traveling, all right, you've seen this information at the currency exchange booth, right, the one at the airport. What do you know when you see this? You know when you see this little bit of information, okay, that you can exchange a euro for 1.1435 US dollars. You can trade a euro for about $1.14 US. Okay, and if you know that, well, then you're already speaking the language of this market. But now I gotta turn you into a trader with this. So let's talk for a minute. Most people, right, they see that information and they know about the dollars and the cents. But currency traders, they look a little further to the right. They look at these last 2 decimal places. Now there's a special name for those. What do we call those? You got dollars, you got cents. We call these pips. Write that down. PIP stands for price interest point. And as traders, we're looking to capture pips. Now that doesn't look like a lot, right? It's a tenth of a penny. It's a hundredth of a penny, right? To the tourist, it doesn't mean anything. But to traders, those little fluctuations mean everything because we're looking to capture pips, little movements in the exchange rate. All right? Now, what makes the exchange rate move up or down? It's all about strength or weakness. Okay, let's say the euro's strong. Well, it might have started the day at 114.35, but it might have finished the day at 114.85. Well, that's a difference of 50 pips. Go ahead and jot that down. There they are in the 3rd and 4th decimal place. All right? Now, as traders, what are we going to trade? Anytime we trade currency, we're going to be moving a position around that we call a lot. Stock market, you got shares, options, you got contracts. Currencies, we trade them in lots. And every time you buy or sell one, that's a position that's worth $100,000. Now, let's make sense out of it because that's a big number. Okay? Old days, what happened? If you wanted to trade currencies, you had to deposit $100,000 minimum just to get started. But anymore, it's different. Okay? Anymore, listen, all you need to do is open up an account with a Forex trading firm, a Forex broker. And here's what's going to happen. Okay? The broker you work with is going to match whatever you deposit 50 to 1. That's the leverage that's built into this market. Okay? When they do that, that's going to be your key. That's going to facilitate. That's going to get you in the game. I'll show you what I mean. Let's say you open an account, and I'll show you how to do it in a second, so hang with me. Okay? Let's say you open an account with a Forex broker. You put $2,000 in it. All right? That's your trading capital. That's what you bring. Well, the broker's going to match that 50 to 1. Why? That's just how it works. Okay? When they match your deposit 50 times, take a look. That equals $100,000, and that's what gets you in the game. So you need the broker to provide you the leverage. Okay? Now, how hard is it to open a brokerage account? Not very. In fact, what you'll do is this. You'll go to an online trading firm like Oanda, for example. They're out of Toronto. What are you going to do? You're going to go ahead and open an account, right? Take about 3 minutes to do it, and once you do, they're going to send you a download link where you're going to end up with this on your screen. Okay? This is a Forex trading platform, and I'll take you on a little tour of that in a minute. But your buy and sell tickets are on here, your charts are on here, your accounting is on here. How long did it take me to open that? A couple of minutes. Now, that's the group that I happen to work with, but there's others, and I don't recommend brokers. I don't have to. There's a couple good ones. You want to write them down. Okay? FXCM is one. They're listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, you can open a couple of different types of accounts with them. Okay? Let's say you want to open an account. What do? You come right here. You fill out some very basic information. No matter what country you're in, okay, you can go ahead and open that account. Most of you are in the States, but there's a couple of you from different places today. Guess what? You can work with this group. Once you fill that out, they'll send you the trading platform. You're good to go. All right? Now, you see this right here, practice account. Let me show you something right here. If you don't want to make a deposit because you're new, that's okay. What you can do is open an account, right, that allows you to do some practice. They'll give you $50,000 in play money. What does that do? Right? Well, that allows you to get used to the platform so you know which button to push without risking any money. You understand what I mean? So in this case, all right, it's that easy to open an account. In fact, there's one other that I'll show you, the biggest one in the world, forex.com. Easy to open an account. You click on open. You come down here. You either open a regular or a practice account. It's the same thing. Basic information, take you 3 minutes to open it. There's no reason any of you shouldn't be doing that after we're done, without a doubt. Right? Even if it's just to mess around with it, get that thing open, take the first step, build a little momentum for yourself. Because when I'm done with you and you see how this works, I just got a feeling you're going to add this Forex thing to your arsenal. Okay? So you're in the game now, right? You put $2,000 into an account, for example, broker matches it 50 times, now you're ready to trade. But the first question a lot of people ask, why do the brokers do that? Why do they provide us with all that leverage? What's in it for them? Good question. It's the first thing I wanted to know. Here's the answer. It's because, not that they're not nice people, but they don't do this out of kindness. They got something in it, okay? They're going to collect what's called the spread on every one of the trades that you do, that I do, that the chief does, that anybody does, okay? They're going to collect between 1 and 3 pips, right? It's like a tip. It's like a toll, okay, like a commission. Well, the name for it is the spread on every trade that you do for providing you the leverage. Now, how much is it? Well, depends on the currency you trade. Okay, if I'm trading the euro, for example, that's 1 pip. If I'm trading the pound, it's 2 pips. On the yen, it might be 2.5. Okay, but it's between 1 and 3, and I pay that so that I can kind of get on the road. Once I do it, they give me the leverage, and I'm good to go. Guess what? You're done. You're a Forex trader. What do you mean? You're ready to do your first trade. All right? I'm going to show you this. I'm going to put it together. Then I'm going to check in with you and make sure you got it. But you're ready to do your first trade. Let's put it all together. All right? Let's say you go to that list, and you're going to do your first trade. You're going to buy 1 lot of the Great British Pound. Okay? Well, what would you do? Well, how about this? How about let's go to the account and do the trade live in the market, because the market's open. All right? So let's do it together. Here. Over here's your list. Here's the euro, right? You see this? The pound, the yen, the Australian, the Canadian, so forth. Let's just go ahead and come over here and highlight this box and click on buy. This order ticket is going to pop up. I'm going to fill it out. I'm going to get 1 lot of currency, 100,000 worth. Okay? And I'm going to come down here and click on submit. Now, I want you to see something. Look right up here when I'm done. All right? Because in 1 second or less, all right, once I hit submit, I'm going to be in the market. Check this out. I hit submit. Boom. There it is. In 1 second, I bought 1 lot of the pound. I paid my spread, right? There it is. But now I'm in the game. See this little triangle right here? That's my trade. In fact, that's your trade. That's your first trade. I'm going to shrink this down to a 5-minute chart just so you can see it a little better. But there it is. Congratulations. You did your first trade. You put in 2,000 of your own. The broker matched it 50 times. There's your 1 lot. Perfect. Now, let's say the trade works out. Let's have some fun, okay? Let's say while you're in the trade works out. It goes to your advantage. Let's say it goes up 60 pips. There they are, the 3rd and 4th decimal place. Well, how much are you going to make on this trade? Well, just do the math. 1 lot times 60 pips, that's $600, okay, on a $2,000 investment. $600 from 60 pips. Well, do the math on that. What do you notice? Well, if you made 600 on a 60 pip move, it means each pip is worth $10. Write that down. Each of those little pips is worth $10. Okay? Was that pretty easy? Is that something that you followed and can understand? And at this point, I need some feedback from you. Do you think if you had this downloaded on your computer that you could have filled out that order ticket right on the Great British Pound just the way that I did and that you followed along so far? If you have, do me a favor, please. Just type a yes in the box because I don't want to leave you behind. All right? Nobody likes to waste their time. I want this to be valuable to you. All right? You followed along so far? Go ahead. Type your answer in the chat box, and I will keep going. You're with me. All right? That's just about everybody. Good. Okay, no problem. Let's keep going. All right? Now, the first question some people have is, okay, Joe, you said at the beginning we didn't have to bring a whole lot of money to the table, but I don't know if I have $2,000. Okay, if you got $2,000, all right, trading capital, you can open an account and trade lots in this market. But if you don't, you can still make some noise. How are you going to do it? If you got $200, you can still trade this market, but you're not going to trade lots. You're going to trade mini lots. Write that down, okay? A mini lot, what do you need? Make a $200 deposit. And every one of you has got $200. That's why I'm mentioning this, okay? Some of you want to just start by dipping your toe in the water. That's fine. Put $200 into an account. The broker's going to match it 50 times, okay? That's a $10,000 position. But you're in the game, and you can still make pips. All right, but instead of them being worth $10 at a time, they're going to be worth $1. Now, what I want you to do is just visualize yourself as I'm going through this, deciding where it is you're going to be. You want to trade lots? Great. You want to trade mini lots? Great. I'm going to talk in terms of pips, and then you can kind of add it up from there. And there's a lot of pips to be had. Okay, I show an example with 60 pips, and everyone's like, okay, that looks nice, but how often does it happen? Gang, it happens in every currency every day. All right, in fact, it's more than double that on every one of the currencies every day. What am I trying to tell you? Look, you don't have to catch all of these to make serious money. You don't even have to catch one. You get half of one, you're killing it. Think about it. $600 is 60 pips. That's half of one of these. All right, do that 5 days a week. You got yourself $3,000. Okay, that's not a bad week as far as I'm concerned. Now, if you're new, what are you thinking? Well, I might only be able to get 30 of those, right? I'll be half of that. Fine. 30 pips is still $300. All right, still $1,500 a week. $75,000 a year is not terrible. And I want to let you know something, okay? Brand new people, right? They feel a little conservative. 60, 30, they're not sure, but I bet you can get 10. All right, and if you can get 10 pips a day, I'm telling you right now, let's let that be a starting point. That's still a game changer for you, because 10 pips is $100. Okay, do that 5 days a week. It's $500 a week. Every month, that's $2,000. That's about half of you. I met your goal. Okay, and $2,000 pays the rent, makes a car payment, pays the electric bill, and you can still take your spouse out to dinner once or twice. Okay, if I can get you 10 pips, that's a positive change. All right, anything more than that's gravy. But if I can get you 10, we're good. All right, I'm going to show you some of that gravy as we go forward. And mechanically, it couldn't be much simpler. Okay, but understand, everything we do is systematic. Everything we do, right, is designed to help you get there. And the fact is, Peter said, look, I was trading with Josh, the trader that he's working with. I did the pound trade. I didn't outsmart him. I did what he told me. I followed a plan. Okay, and let me show you the plan. All right, everything has steps that you're going to follow. The simplest way to describe it is right here, okay? He bought his currency, he protected his downside, he protected his profit, and left it alone. That's a good plan. What did it look like? First thing he did was what you've already done. He bought his currency. Now, I want you to see something, all right? When you buy, great. What are you hoping for? Make $1 million, okay? Aren't we all? But what's happening here? Once you buy, look at down here. You see all this? All of this is risk. All right, when you buy, all of this is risk. So what are you going to do first before you do anything else? You're going to do what he did. He's going to set what's called a stop order. It's a floor underneath his trade, okay? So that if the trade doesn't work out the way he thought, instead of going off the cliff, okay, he's got an order protecting him. If it goes down to this level, automatically he's going to be out of the market. So that reduces the sweaty palms, okay? That reduces all the anxiety. You got to stop, right? This is like falling out the basement window. You're not going to get hurt, okay? You fall off a cliff, that'll hurt you. So he put a stop in on this trade at 10 pips. Now that's fine. But here's the other thing he did. Okay, everybody wants to protect their downside, but they forget sometimes to protect their profit when it shows up. Okay, nothing more frustrating than to hit the target and then it disappears because you didn't follow all the steps. Well, what he does here, not only set an order below the market, he sets one above the market too. It's called a limit. It's called a target order. And in this case, he set it at 80 pips. So that if the darn thing goes in his direction, right, and it hits that point, automatically that $800 is going to go in his account. Okay? So at this point, what does he do? Well, if he's got everything set up, gang, what else is there to do? Sit there and stare at the screen, sit there and micromanage it? No, it's either going to go up or down, okay? It either goes up or down, and that's the end of it. So leave it alone, all right? Go do something else. You got tea time, go play, okay? When you come back, it either it's going to go up or down. Now, in this case, it hit his target, right? Why do you think he sent us the note, right? Hit his target, he made himself $800, not too shabby. Now, there's a question I've got to ask you right now, okay? Because I'm going to go live market in a second. But the fact is, I've got to know if that made sense to you. If you got somebody that knows how to do some trading and they say, hey, here's our strategy, all right, you're going to risk 10 pips to make $800. Is that something you'd consider doing? If it is, I need to know, okay? Put a yes in the little chat box, okay? And let's keep talking to each other. Use that chat box. And if you're not sure, type not sure. That means you need more information, and that's fine. At least it lets me know where you're coming from, okay? But let me know, would you risk 10 pips to make $800 now that you're kind of seeing how this is put together? Let me know that. I'm going to get a sip of water. Yeah, Okay, and that's most of you, right? Of course, it sounds pretty good, right? So then how about this? If you're willing to do that, then how about actually doing it? Okay, in this particular case, you got a trade on. It's in the Great British Pound, right? But look down here, all this is risk. How about we do this? Okay, how about we modify the trade a little bit so that we can have that protection? All I got to do is click on, right, my current order. I'm going to come over here to this ticket. I'm going to click modify. And what I'm going to do is make sure to put a floor under my trade so I don't have all this at risk. As a matter of fact, I'm only going to risk 15 pips, 146.47. All right, now what am I looking to make while we're together? Well, how about we see if we can't make $200 while we're talking? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click submit. Now look what happened. Automatically, right, by clicking submit, I've got a floor under my trade, so now I don't have to panic, and I've got a place to go. Now, if I think that's too much room, what can I do? Well, I can modify that red line just by clicking on it, put it anywhere I want. Okay? As a matter of fact, that automatically updates. That's how cool this is. It works that fast. Same thing here. If I say, well, you know, I'd rather make a couple more than that. Let me see if I can make $250 or $300. Okay? I can move my upside target as well. For now, I'm going to leave it right there. Okay? But that's the trade that we're going to have on while we're talking. We'll see how it goes. Right? Market's open and that thing's moving. But if you can handle this, okay, if you can get this on your screen and you know that the orders are right over here, there's your currencies on the left, you know that you're going to trade one lot at a time, right? Once you enter the market, you'll get that little triangle, okay? And in this particular case, what do you want to do? Well, every time you build a floor. Now, in this trade that I'm showing you on the euro, right, what happened? Well, right from the buy, right, we got a little bit of movement. And as a matter of fact, if you look at it in real time, that thing's up $1,700. Well, whenever you make $1,700 and it takes about 18 hours, that's you got to write that down as being a good living, okay? Especially when the heaviest thing you have to lift is your index finger to click the mouse. No, wrong. The heaviest thing you're going to have to lift is your cup of coffee because you're going to have to get that first before you sit down and trade. So I don't want to overstate it, right? But the fact is, once you are in profits, okay, once you're in profits, all the decisions become good. What do I mean? What can you do at this point with this trade? Well, the first thing you want to do is probably raise your stop to break even. That way, even if it falls out of bed from here, you're not going to lose any money, okay? That's a good decision. What else can you do? Well, I don't know. When I see $1,700, I don't want it all to disappear, so maybe I can raise my stop, protect $1,000, but still give it room to move to the upside. You see that? That's another good decision. What else can I do? I can just come over here and hit the sell button, right? Put that $1,700 in my pocket. The fact is, gang, once you're in profits, all the decisions become good. Now it's my job to get you there as quick as possible. I got to get your screen to be green, period. All right, and I'm not talking green next week or next month. I'm talking green ASAP. If I can do that for you, this is worth every minute of your time. Well, guess what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you live. I'm going to show it to you using my ultimate charting software. Okay, this is an example using my proprietary program. There's a bunch of automated tools here. I'm going to show you what all the buttons do and so forth. But for now, we're going to look at the euro on the 1 month chart. You see that? I'll keep it as simple as possible. There are three things that you need to know when it comes to, right, trading the Forex. Where's the market going? Where do I get in? Where do I get out? Pretty simple. Okay? Now, one thing you have to understand, in this market, the Forex does the same things over and over and over and over again, all right? And these markets develop patterns. And you can see it here, all right, look, that this chart is made up of a bunch of candlesticks, the blue ones and the white ones. Blue represents market going down, white one represents the market going up. Never goes straight up or straight down. Sometimes it's moving up. Right? Then it dissipates a little, it's moving the other direction. Then there's a big burst of energy right to the upside, and then what? It runs out of gas a little, retraces down here, and then it pushes up again. You can all see that happening, okay? I want to isolate one of these patterns right now. I'm going to call it ABCD. Write that down, ABCD, okay? Let's say, now stick with me here. Let's say the market starts out at a low. We'll call it letter A, and it moves to a high right here. We're going to call that letter B. Okay? Then it stops to breathe for a little bit, comes down to letter C, retraces, right? Before it pushes here upwards to letter D. That is a pattern, all right? We're going to call it A, B, C, D. Now, let me ask you a question. If it was possible to measure the amount of energy in the market that carried it from letter A to letter B, okay, and then it kind of petered out, if it was possible then to measure, okay, the energy building up in the market from letter B to C, so that, now hang with me, if it was possible to measure that energy so that once it hit point C, not only do we know which direction it's going, but how far it's going to go. Do you think that'd be helpful? Let me ask that again. If we had a tool that could measure the energy in the market, right, from point A to point B, and that tool could also measure the amount of energy building up, like it's almost like steam in a pot. It could measure that energy also, so that before it happened, right, we knew ahead of time not only which direction the market was going, right, but how high, how far. Do you think that would be helpful? I guess the question I'm asking, and some people are like, are you asking if a crystal ball would be helpful? Yeah, I guess that's what I'm asking. Okay? If you think so, type a yes in the chat box, because that's what I'm about to show you. You guys are like, of course, right? Absolutely. Well, guess what? There is such a tool. All right? I'm going to show it to you right now. It's called the Fibonacci sequence. Now, listen. You can look up Fibonacci by Googling his name after we're done. For now, here's what I've got to tell you about it. This Fibonacci sequence, it's also called the golden ratio. Okay? This was developed. It's a mathematical sequence. It was developed by this Italian guy, right, named Arturo de Fibonacci. Okay? It's a numbering system. And the coolest part about it is it can be used to measure or number everything. What do you mean? This sequence, okay, and again, you can learn more about it later, right? What I'm going to tell you, though, is this sequence can be used to count the number of scales on a fish. It can be used to count the number of petals in a sunflower, all right? We can use it to measure the human body, head to toe, and symmetry, length of your arms and legs, the whole bit, all right? This sequence applies to every living thing. And the fact of the matter is, this sequence is all about the patterns and energy in the universe. Well, the chief, right, he said, well, the Forex is all about patterns and energy. So if that thing can be applied here, we can use that to make serious money. Well, guess what? It can be applied here. And what I'm about to show you, when I first saw it, it was dazzling. Okay, and I'm going to show it to you enough times so that you're going to be able to internalize this, because you got to have this in your hip pocket. Once you understand how this works, gang, that's when the real fun starts. And using a tool that's built into my software, all right, it's going to plot Fibonacci energy bands, and it's going to do it automatically. All I have to do is draw a line, right, from a low price to a high price, from A to B. And as soon as I do that, all right, what's going to appear, right, it looks like a step ladder. Okay, what's going to appear looks kind of like a step ladder, and it's color-coded. And what shows here is that if I can simply identify A and B, and then I can find where the market takes a break, right, takes a breather, retraces some energy, right, down here to letter C, and it then makes kind of a U-turn, I can then tell before it happens where the market's going to go because of these energy bands. I want you to see something. All right, you can identify this. You can see that the market has made a U-turn right here. Well, look where the low price is. The low price lines up exactly with one of these Fibonacci energy bands. Okay, I call them trampolines. Why? Because here's what I know. Okay, when the market bounces off of one of those levels, in this case, it's color-coded red. What I know is this. It's heading up, and it's heading up to this red level up here. It's going to go from red to red. Now, what if it had dipped a little bit lower? All right, what if instead of coming down to point C up here, it dipped a little lower, okay, and it came down to point C down here, right, this blue band? Well, that's a deeper retracement, okay, and what I know is the currency bounces off of that trampoline, it's not going to bounce quite as high. According to my Fibonacci thing, it's only going to come up here to this blue level, blue to blue. So I've got red to red, or if it comes down to blue, I've got blue to blue. And if it were to dip down even further, see this green one? If letter C was at the green one, I would expect that it would go from green to green. But in this case, what's happened? It's come down here to letter C, and the market's made a U-turn. Right? There's fresh energy in the market pushing it higher to this future price, D. Well, guess what? The difference between where it is right now and D that hasn't happened yet, that represents my profit opportunity, staring me in the face. Now, if the current price is 127 and that future D is at 160, right, that's a difference of 3,300 pips. And if each of those is worth $10, I'm staring at 33 grand that I could make on a $2,000 investment. Well, anybody who tells me that, I'm still listening, right? What do I want to know? What happened? Here's the answer, okay? Here's the answer. This currency moved right to that letter D exactly before it ran out of energy, and look, it started to dissipate. It went from a white candle up, and it ran out of gas right here at that fib level and came down to blue. But what did this do for me? This gave me not just the insight to see where I was going in terms of direction, but also how far, and it was exact. So I looked at that and I said, if that works every time, I can use that. Well, guess what? This market does the same things, gang, over and over and over again, and it's absolutely repeatable, and it's absolutely measurable, and the best part is it's absolutely predictable. And you're going to decide as soon as I go live, right, if all this holds water. Keep your brain turned on, okay? Because I got to show this to you, and if at any point you say, that looks like it works, I'm going to try it, at the end I'll tell you how you do it, and you can come do it with us. All right? But right now, I have to know if you're ready to get started. If you followed all that, do me a favor. Type the word GO in the chat box, and I'll go live. All right? That gives me a chance to take a quick sip of water, but I got to know that you're ready to do that. Because if you are, it's time for the formula. You're going to have this in your back pocket. You're actually going to have some good takeaways today. All right? You guys ready? You got to type GO. Then let's do it. Edgar, you with me? Paul is. Good. You ready? Let's make it happen. All right? We're going live in the market. And I'm going to do it with my software right here. You're going to see anytime I bring up a chart that the market over here is going to be moving up and down. All right? I'm going to start with the 1 month chart. But here's what you need to know. All right? The entire analysis is going to be 3 charts. I'll tell you exactly what they do. There is no secrets, okay? It's just a formula. I'm revealing the formula. 3 charts, all right? We're going to do what I call ABC, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3. If you can handle this, you can kill it in this market, okay? So let's make this happen. 3 charts, okay? I'm first going to look at the euro on the 1 month chart. Now, most of the time, what do we see? We just see a bunch of squigglies, right? But I'm going to add a couple of things to the chart so that you're going to understand exactly how to read this. Most important thing you need to know, we use the monthly chart only to determine direction. Okay? We're going to use that only to determine direction. And that's going to help us in real time decide what the heck we want to do. But what I want to show you first is how those Fibonacci's work. You see this here where the euro was in a downward trend? You see this? I want to show you something. Let's just connect a couple of points. The highest point I'm going to call A. The low point I'm going to call B. You ready for this? Using a tool that's built into my program, I'm going to click on this Fibonacci tool. All I got to do is draw a line from A to B. Here we go. There's A, there's B. Do you see those bands show up all by themselves? All right, good. There they are. I want you to see something. All right, as I connect points A and B, all right, what do you notice? The market ran out of gas at B, and it retraced, all right? It made a U-turn, and it retraced up here to letter C. Now, when you see that it went to letter C, right? What you notice is this. It retraced up to this red trampoline, okay? Well, what do I know? Well, without the benefit of seeing it ahead of time, if all I saw was this, okay, I saw that the market had reached a high point and then you turned back in the other direction. What would I know to do ahead of time? I would know, all right, that the market is going to go from this red level down to this red level, red to red. Well, guess what? Okay, that's going to be my new price target. Now, if the market's at 125, okay, 126, and I'm saying we're going to 81, well, that's pretty serious. That's 4,400 pips. So that'd be $44,000. I got to think that that's something I want to be paying attention to. Now, if in real time I'm at 105, I'm still looking at 25 grand. Okay, let's see where the darn thing goes. All right, hey, look at this. Never goes straight up or straight down, but it ends up working its way all the way down to here, right, before it makes a U-turn. Now, isn't that something? It came to this point. We said it was going to come to this point. It came to it, gang, with that degree of accuracy before it made its U-turn. A, B, C, and now it's at D. Well, guess what? That completed a Fibonacci sequence. What was predicted here came true here. Now, if you see that, type ABCD in the chat box, because I got to keep going with this. All right? I don't want to leave you behind, but that's the sequence being fulfilled. Did you see that? ABCD. Thank you. All right, so you're keeping up with me. Great. Well, how often does this thing work? Because that one seems to work. What do you do next? Gang, you wait for the next, all right, AB to take place. And you simply draw, right, your Fibonacci's on the screen. Now, what do we got here? We've got the market changing direction. We've actually gone, look at this, and you can do this at home. We've gone from a downtrend, and it's obvious that we've moved into an uptrend. Now, I want you to see this, okay? The first move was right here. This is where the market failed to keep going down, and it started its push upward. Watch this. Let me put the fibs right on that. I'll just connect the low point and the high point. You see that? I'll blow it up a little so you can see it a little better. All right? Hold on. Y'all can see this, right? What's happened here? Let me make sure I'm accurate in where I drew my dots, connecting those points. Okay? The market has gone from A to B and then retraced down here, right, all the way to this point, this green trampoline. Well, what's the expectation, right? Now that it's made its U-turn, I'm looking for the market to go from green up to green. And lo and behold, it did. So that's another ABC. Once I identified the U-turn, what happened? It never went below that C point. Okay? So this analysis, listen, is going to protect your downside, because once you identify that U-turn, okay, you can also identify clearly where your downside is. And then you get to decide if you're going to take the trade or not. But that thing worked right there. Is it going to work again? Let's find out. Now that I fulfilled that sequence, okay, I've got to go to a new sequence. Where is it? It's right here. Low price A, okay, to high price B. Now watch this. Okay, get rid of this line. All right, hold on for a second. This will dazzle you. Okay, where are we at? We go from A to B, and then we dip down here to this red area, but you see that push to the upside. Well, where the heck are we going? We already know, right? If you came down to red, you're going up to red, okay? From red to red. That would be D. Now look at this. It's not an accident, okay, that we fulfilled that level. A, B, C, D, it worked again. If that makes sense, type a capital Y in the box so I can keep going, okay? Because now we're going to have to show you how to fit this in, and you can do it here. If you can see that that's working, if you can see that that's literally predicting the direction of the market, All right, just type a capital Y in the box. And you don't have to, okay, that's a bunch of it. You don't have to be a genius to do this. You don't have to even know how to draw these. Built into my program, I got a tool that'll do it for you automatically. It's called the Smart Fibonacci. All you got to do is click on it, and it'll draw these for you automatically. Okay, draw them for you automatically so you can see how many times in a row this works. And it doesn't just work once or twice or 3 times. It works, gang, every time. There's a Fibonacci fulfillment, first time. There's another one, A, B, C, D. That's the one I showed you. Here's the next one, A, B, C, comes right down to red. Where's it going? Up to red. Amazing. Goes right up to red and quits. You see this one? I got to show you this. Okay? Hold on. All right? This is where, for me, this gets very exciting. Because when we go from A to B to C, all right, in this example, we come right down to this red level. And if we're saying we're going up to that red level, that future D, right, from red to red, and it goes to that point exactly before it runs out of gas, that means that energy thing, that Fibonacci thing, is telling me a story, okay? It's telling me a story in the market that this works. And when I saw this, I said, keep showing me. Do it again, because I want to see how that works right now. I want to see how to use that to make money. If it worked every time, right, on the way up, and there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 opportunities, right, to make money with it, well, let's see what we're doing now. All right, monthly, we got to know which direction we're going in. I can see right here that my trend is starting to go down. But that's not what I need to understand when it comes to finding my direction. What I need to understand is, where am I on that Fibonacci energy wave? Okay? Here's what you need to know. You're going to connect, right, the high price to the low price. That's going to be A to B. And what do you see right now? You see that the market is retracing. Okay? It's retracing, but it hasn't yet reached any of these bands. We're in the BC, okay, we're in the BC push, but we haven't yet reached any of the trampolines, okay? What I'm telling you is this market is still on the BC push, so it's moving up. Now, how high it goes, I don't know, okay? But I understand, by my understanding of fibs, that I'm on this leg. So the only thing I need to know from my monthly chart is direction. That direction is up. You're going to be able to do this now that I've shown it to you in a couple of seconds. So monthly equals direction. My direction is up. Okay? And yes, that involves a little bit of faith in the Fibonacci thing. But I don't know if it works 5, 6, 7 times. It works every time. You might want to kind of take a half a step forward into it. Okay? Same thing here. I'm going to go now to the day chart. I have to confirm my direction. The monthly might tell me that I'm up, but I've got to confirm that before I do any trading. Okay? And here's what you need to know about this chart. This is the 1 day. Write it in your notes. I've just gone here and clicked on 1 day. Okay? There it is. Now, let me make sense out of this pattern for you. What I've done here is drawn a quick trend line, but I'll erase it and I'll just draw it from scratch so that you can see how easy it is, okay? All you're doing when you're drawing a trend line is connecting the dots. You're connecting the high points, right, on your chart. And in this particular case, this is a beautiful trend line since September of last year. Why beautiful? Because look, every time, right, this currency approached this trend line, it was super reliable for a good long period of time. You understand that? It acted like a ceiling, right, for a good long time on this currency. Until when? Until right here in this area. Right here that I have circled, okay, we broke through the trend line. Now look, okay, what do I have? Well, now my ceiling, right, isn't acting like a ceiling anymore. What's it acting like? It's acting like a floor, a reliable floor. Well, what does this mean to me? That means this trend line is absolutely reliable, but since I've broken through it, I'll get you talking like a trader so you can impress your friends. That's what we call a counter trend line break. I've broken through, and now the ceiling has become the floor, and we've bounced off of it, okay? I was in the sell zone, right, where this was a ceiling, but now I've moved to the buy zone. It's now become a floor. So now I've confirmed, okay, which direction I'm going in. I'm also going to use the day chart to quantify my opportunity. Okay, so how much money am I standing to make in this? Well, here's the neat part. I get to use those fibs again. Check it out. Okay, and I'm going to blow this up so you can see it very clearly. I'm in the buy zone. Okay, what do I stand to make on this euro? Well, check it out. I'm going to just use my auto fibs to show you how often this works. There. It's worked every time. Here we went from low A to B, right? Came down where? Came down to C, exactly at this red trampoline. Where did we expect to go once we hit that? We'd expect to go to this red trampoline, exactly, and we did. Exactly. Huh? Let me show you again. Okay? A to B. You want to be dazzled? You want to understand that this is not guesswork? You want to understand how easy this is? It can't be that easy. Why not? What do you think traders do? They do the same thing over and over and over again, and that's how they make their living. What do you do every day? You go to the same job, you do it over and over and over again. That's how you make your living. It's the same thing, gang. You just got to learn the skill. Okay? There's A to B. I've come down to C. See this? Right down to this red level exactly. What's the Fibonacci telling me? It's coming up to this red level. Let me just mark it so you can see it. Okay? I'll mark it. Okay? There's the red level. Where did it go? Exactly to that level? Exactly before it ran out of energy? That's not a mistake. That's not an accident. That's how this works. And now what do? I come forward to the next energy level. I come forward to this AB. Okay? Now that this old C becomes my new letter A. Okay? This low price. I draw a line to the high price. Okay? What do I see? I'm waiting for it to U-turn. Where does it U-turn? It U-turns, you can spot it exactly, right, at this level. So where am I going now? I'm going from blue to blue. How do you know? Because this works. From 110 to 115 is 500 pips. Okay? That's $5,000. Not bad. You'd probably take it, especially if you could see it before it happened. What happens to the currency? Goes right up to that level. There it is. Right? There it is. And as soon as it hits that level, it runs out of gas. Now, this isn't some ancient thing that I'm showing you. This is happening now. This is real time. Now. So I've got to quantify this for you right now so that you can trade it. What do? I just hit my auto fib. Okay? And I can see it automatically. This is my new AB. I've come down to C right at this energy level. That's not an accident or a mistake. Okay? That's just how it works. And if I'm going from red to red, okay, red here, that's my low price at this trampoline, okay? If I'm going to red here, and that's my opportunity, well, that's at 121. It's at 112. So I'm looking at 900 pips. That's $9,000. This is one currency. Now, there's 6 that I gave you. So if I can show you $9,000 in all of them, you're looking at $50,000 if you stay with me on the conversation. All right? Let's just do this one because this is where it's at. This is the opportunity. So what do, Joe? Do I go ahead and buy it? You're almost there. If you understood A, B, C, D, now you just got to know one more thing. Okay? 1, 2, 3. You got A, B, C. Now it's time for 1, 2, 3. You got to look at one more chart. Okay? One more chart. The 2-hour chart. You come over here, you click on the 2-hour button. And what are you looking for? A very specific setup. It's called a 1, 2, 3 buy. Okay? No guesswork. A 1, 2, 3 buy. Now, how do you identify it? Well, what do we know? We got a currency that's in an uptrend. Okay, great. We got it. It's in an uptrend and we know it on the day chart. What we're looking for is to buy it not at a high price, at a low price. We always want to get our currency on sale, okay? And anytime we are looking to buy, we want to meet three criteria. What's the first one? We want to see the currency on sale. We want to see a bunch of those blue candlesticks bunched together. A strong move to the downside is exactly what we're looking for. You see this right here, a strong move down? That's the first thing I want to see. Strong move down is a bunch of the blue candles. And the fact of the matter is, that's where I get to buy low. Okay? Step one, it's right here. What am I looking for next? I want the candles to change color. I need to jump on a little bit of a moving train to the upside. So I want the candles to change color as they've done right here. Okay? And what I really want to see is when the candles change color, I want the first white one to peek out above the one in front of it. I want that white one to engulf. That's another one of those fancy terms you can impress your friends with, okay? I want this one to be higher than the one in front of it. So I want step two, I want the candle to change color and I want the white one to peak above the one before it. That, gang, is step two. Now you're almost there. And once you got the last part, you'll have the formula. No secrets. What's the third step? I want to come down here to a study that I've added to my chart. Okay? It's called the stochastic RSI. It's a statistical analysis. I don't know exactly how it all works. You can look that one up at the same time you look up Fibonacci. All right? Fact of the matter is it measures buying and selling pressure in the currency. Now, how did I add this study to my chart? You'll do this as soon as you get this at home. All right? I'll give you a download link for this whole program. You're going to have the same thing on your desk today. All right? There it is. I click on that. I go to this indicator folder. There's 100 indicators in the folder. I don't care about any of them except this one. All right? To show you this, I need to show you this. All right? Stochastic RSI. I'm going to click on it. It's going to come right here. And I want to make sure before I click OK that I click a couple of special boxes. The first one is this one that says overbought. I want to make sure that's clicked. Okay? This one says oversold. I want to make sure that's clicked. And when I make sure that those are clicked, I click OK. Now it's added here to the bottom of my chart. Okay? A couple of squiggly lines, then this line that says 80, this line that says 20. What do you need to know? Anytime the currency, the squigglies, are above 80, all right, that's my sell zone. Anytime they're below 20, that's my buy zone. Okay? One more time. Anytime they're above 80, that's my sell zone. Anytime they're below 20, that's my buy zone. Okay? So I want to see the squigglies if I'm a buyer, right, below the 20. And take a look. You see that right here. Guess what? That's my third step. Strong move down, change of color, engulfing candle. Third step, stochastic in the buy zone. Okay? That's called a 1, 2, 3 buy. And guess what I'm doing right there? I'm buying the currency. Okay? What am I going to do immediately? Of course, I'm going to set my stop a little bit below the lowest price of the blue candle. Okay? So in this case, this is trading at 111.40. I got my stop at 111.25. So I'm going to risk 15 pips. But what's going to happen? Let's just go ahead and let it happen. All right? Look what happens. I'm green, right, almost immediately, which is not terrible. I like that. Okay? And I continue to move to the upside. Now look, if I'm in at 111.25, and at the moment, and this is real time, I'm at 111.90. What that means is on this trade with this setup, I'm already up 65 pips. Okay? That's 650 US dollars. Okay? Off of that setup, and it took 2 days. So that's not a bad trade, right? $650. What can I do at this point? Maybe protect half of it, make my car payment? Okay? I could go ahead and raise my stop to break even and let the whole thing run. Or maybe I just press the sell button and I get out with a $650 profit. But at this point, all of my choices are good. Why? Because of that 1, 2, 3 buy. Well, how often does that work? Well, let's have a look historically and take a peek at how often it works. Because I'm telling you right now, of everything, and I got 22 years of doing this stuff, gang, nothing really impresses me too much. Okay? I've seen it all. I've heard it all. I know what the difference is between hype and nonsense and something you can sink your teeth into. This works. Okay? And when you see a 1, 2, 3 buy, like you see right here, all right, and you see this work over and over again, you got to adopt this. You just have to. All right, put $200 into a mini account and go trade the darn thing. Worst that'll happen is you lost your $200 and it might have taken you an hour to figure that out. All right, but what I'm here to tell you is, all right, this thing works. Do it in a practice account if you need to develop your belief. But when I see this, look, 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 I'll show it to you right here. See this setup? That's a 1, 2, 3 buy. The white has peaked above the blue. I got the stochastic in the buy zone after a strong move down. What do I do immediately? I go ahead and set my stop. Okay, in this one, I'm going to set it just below that lowest wick on the blue candle. Okay, now I'm in 120 or 112.04. Let's see how this one turned out. All right, immediately into profit, that we like. When we go 60 pips into profit, that's when I raise my stop to break even. Guess what? Now I can't lose. Okay, now we're talking about the gravy part. Now if I can get you 10 pips a day doing this, all right, I told you I could change your life. Right now we're up 60 pips. Let's see how far this thing goes. All right, once I hit 113, right, 113.50, I'm thinking I might want to protect a little of that. So I'm going to go ahead and raise my stop right here. Now I got $250, okay, $250 to the good. All right, that's new sneaks for my kids or whatever it happens to be. But I can let this thing continue to run. Now all this has happened off of this one silly little setup. Okay, now I'm at 114. Now I'm at 115. Okay, what does this amount to? Look, I got a measuring tool right here. Look, over in this corner, you'll see how many pips this is. I just connect where I'm at to where I went. That's 332 pips. That's $3,000 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I don't know how to make money. Yeah, you do, right? I couldn't make $3,000 a week. Well, this is one currency, all right? And if you got half of it, okay, you made $1,600. If you got a tenth of it, you made $300. Okay, but there's $3,000 looking at you. And does it get any better than that? Well, yeah. Where does it peak? 116. Okay, so that's almost $4,000, and that's in a week's time. So anybody that tells me now I don't know how to make $4,000 a week, now you've seen it, and you don't have to bring a lot of money to the table to trade one lot. That's why I get excited about showing it. Now, does it dissipate? Sure. It dissipates right from here, and now what do? We wait for the next 1, 2, 3. Okay? The next 1, 2, 3. Now, do we have one? Not here. That looked pretty good, but look, it's not a good 3. I got a 1, 2, not a 3, not a trade. How long did it take you to analyze that now? A couple of seconds. Okay? Look for the next one when it appears. Oh, look, there's one now. Okay? How did this trade work out? You see it peak. Hold on. You see it peak right here. Okay? That's a 1, 2, 3 setup. What do? You set your stop, okay, just below that blue wick. There it is. Once you go into profits, what happens? All the decisions are good. You can raise your stop to break even, let it continue to run, okay? And the fact of the matter is, when it gets a little channely, a little sideways, right, you might go ahead and take a profit there. Maybe you make $100 or $200. $100, you take your spouse out to Ruth's Chris or, Morton's or something like this. But this is how we do it, all right? All I'm looking for right now is those 1, 2, 3s. This is one that was today. So it's not like this is ancient, but now you're ready because now you got the formula. ABC, 1, 2, 3. Once you got it, you're not going to forget it. Now you got to do something with it. If you've got that, if you think you could do 3 charts and what I just showed you, type ABC 1, 2, 3. And if you don't got it, type do one more. And I'll do one more. Okay? Do that. I'm going to get a sip of water. I'm working kind of hard here. I hope you appreciate it. ABC 1, 2, 3 means you got it. And do one more means show it to me again. Francois, yeah, you're my favorite. One more, right, Paul? All right, here we go. I'll give you a couple more because these are the ones that are moving now. Okay, I'm going to show you the pound pairs. Let me do the pound New Zealand first, the 1 month chart. Here it is. Okay, what do I have to do? Determine my direction. What am I going to do first? I'm going to connect, right, my high points and make sure I understand where my trend line is. Do I see one? Yes. Here it is. Before I was in, right, the sell zone, but here I had a counter trend line break, and now look, what used to be a ceiling, right, is now a floor. You see that? So I am now in on this side of the equation, all right? So what do I need to do? I've got to determine what my energy is right now. I can do it just by clicking on this low price. That's going to be A. And look, I'll do it automatically so it's not guesswork. Watch. Boom. There's my first wave. That fulfilled. Now I'm in this wave, okay? And if I blow it up, you can see it. All right, AB is very obvious. But look what we have here. We have a U-turn right now. It came down to this blue level exactly. That's not a mistake, okay? Now what am I looking at? I see that I've come down to blue, so I'm looking at my direction being where? Up here. Blue to blue, okay? Where are we now? 217. Where's that blue line? 270. Well, that's 5,300 pips. That's about $53,000. I think that's worth investigating. But we have our direction. Our monthly direction, gang, is up. Took you a couple of seconds to figure that out. Let's go to our day chart. Make sure we're confirmed. What do I see? I've drawn my trend line on the day chart. Again, you already know this. It used to be a ceiling. We got a counter trend line break. Now it's a floor, okay? And the fact is, we got this awesome reversal. This reversal is a massive move. Where are we right now on the fibs? I'll do it automatically again. Here we are, okay? We are looking for what? This next C. We're in the right direction, all right? We are confirmed, but now we have to quantify, all right, exactly how much we're getting out of this. Where the heck are we going? Because this doesn't look too shabby, does it? This is a beautiful looking move. Hold on, let me show you the first one. A, B, right down to red, C, D. That absolutely fulfilled. A, B, C, right, from 208 up to D, right here to 218. That was 900 pips. $9,000, and once it reached that level, it ran out of gas. That's not a mistake. That's not an accident. That's how this works. What are we waiting for? We're not going to be able to trade the New Zealand because we have to wait for it to U-turn again before we trade it. That makes sense? So unfortunately, you missed this part. This happened over the last week or so. That was $9,000. So we don't have to go to our 2-hour chart. Why not? Well, because it's not happening now. When it did, we would look for what? A 1, 2, 3. Is that valid? Does that work? Does it work all the time? 1, 2, 3. Watch this. Okay? We've missed this. I want you to be aware of that. But when it did happen, right, that 1, 2, 3 buy never dipped below C and pushed higher. We raise our stop. That's how we make some money. You see that? That's how we do it. And then we wait for the next 1, 2, 3. Is there another one? Uh-huh. We got it on sale. Nice push. Does it happen again? Uh-huh. How much are all these worth? Let me quantify this, all right? Because you have to know what you can make. And this is all based on a $2,000 investment. That's it. Don't cash in your IRA just yet, okay? Just do this with a couple of grand. If you can master this, this trade was worth, hold on, 576 pips. That's $5,760. And it took 3 days. Even if it was a mini lot, that's almost 600 bucks. Then this one, okay, it's the same thing, same setup. Another 500 pips. What's the point I'm trying to make? This isn't ancient, gang. This was this week. Okay? You want to go out and make 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10 grand. Now you know how. All right? But it's not going to be in that currency. Where can I find you one? I'm going to get you one right here. Australia, New Zealand, monthly. Watch how quick I can do this now. Okay? And you can do it too. All right? Monthly chart. What do I see? I see I've broken the trend line. I see that it used to be a ceiling, now it's a floor. Okay? I'm on, right, a current wave. Here it is. Let me just use this and show it to you. Bang. All right, A, B, now we've come down to C. You see that right here? We've come down to C, and now we're moving higher. This shows you an upward trend line. Okay, we've come down to C, and now we're moving higher. So my monthly direction is up on the Australia, New Zealand. I then go to the 1-day chart. What do I see? Am I in the buy zone? Am I in the sell zone? Let me show you this. Okay, I connect, right, these high points, and it shows me clearly that I was in the sell zone a while. Okay, but now look, we had our counter trend line break, and now the ceiling has become the floor. So I just confirmed that I'm on the right side of things. Now watch this. I also see, right, that I'm making higher highs, and I just bounced off of this floor. Gang, this might be the best trade you'll find in a while. You want to start off with one that can get you a winner? How about this one? All right? Because when I throw the fibs on here from A to B, what do I notice? All right, hold on. I'll get it right. We've come down to the green level, and now guess what? We're heading higher from here. From 107 to 114 is 700 pips. Okay? It hasn't happened yet. Make this the first one you do. Let's go make $7,000. This is an awesome setup, and you're going to learn how to do this. You probably got it almost there already. It's just going to take a couple of repetitions for you to do it. But this thing is happening, and the only thing you need to find is a 1, 2, 3 buy. The last one appeared here. It worked here. It worked here. Why wouldn't it work here? And guess what? It is. Now you're looking for the next one. All right? Now, and it's happening right now. I'll tell you what. If that's a 1, 2, 3, all right, it's time to buy. 107.13, I'm buying it. Australia, New Zealand, let me add it to my little list. All right, hold on for a second because I don't want to miss out. Aussie, New Zealand, I'll add it and save it. Then I come down here. There it is. I'm a buyer. Aussie, New Zealand, click on buy, 100,000. Awesome. That's 10. I'm buying the whole nut. Submit. What am I going to do next? See that? I wish I'd come to this 5 minutes ago because I've missed out on some good pricing here. But I'm going to set my stop. Hold on, Aussie, New Zealand. I'm going to set my stop, and I'm going to set my limit. Modify, stop, limit. Guess what? Little Van Halen there. I'm rocking this trade. All right? And you can too. Look, the trade you did earlier on the pound, that's working out. You're making money by accident. We've been together an hour. That's $31 an hour. Okay? You don't even know what you're doing yet. But imagine you can do this also. All right? And I know that you can. You just got to give yourself a chance at it. All right? You just have to give yourself a chance because it's right there. And I can do more examples and so forth, but at the end of the day, it's just a skill. It's just a formula. Once you do it, you do what I did. There's no reason to be nervous, all right? Let's get on the bike. You weren't nervous when you were 6 and 7 years old getting on the bike. Oh, I can skin my knee. No, my friends are over there, right? Let's get you where you want to go. all right? Open a mini account to start. That's probably the best way to do it. If you're a new person, that's fine. If you got some experience but you're struggling, that's what Angus was doing. But he opened a mini account and he said, I'm going to learn that formula. Guess what he did right out of the gate? Okay, this works. We built a business for 22 years on this, all right, this formula. And it continues to work. That's what you're going to put to the test. Now, I'll put the charting software on your desk. All right, you want that charting software at any time. You don't have to wait for me. What you need to do, though, is let me know. At some point, I'm interested in doing that. Somebody needs to reach out to me. Great. What you'll do is just type a number in the box that one of my team can reach out to you at after we're done. We'll dot I's and cross T's at the end. Okay? But I'll put this tool on your desk. All right? As a member of this team, you're going to figure out how to use it. We'll show you how. All right? The auto fibs are included, right? That goes on your desk today. There's a download link for it. I'll make sure that you have it. And guess what? If you ever forget how to use any of this stuff, with one click, right, you can go right here to this button that says Education. Once you do that, you know what appears? This screen right here. All right, and it'll take you to everything that I've showed you already today. You're already halfway through this. You know what the Forex is. You know what those lines do, the floors and ceilings. I showed you the sequence, the fibs and the ABCDs, right? I showed them to you in uptrends and downtrends, and I also showed you how to manage a trade. You've got this. You are this close, right, to that awesome formula. Now, is that all there is to know? No, all right? But you want to talk about a hell of a foundation to get you out of the gate. You want to be inspired. This will inspire you. And then you'll keep showing up when you get results. All right? That online university, you get access to that today also. It's all in there. And to cement all of this for you, all right, I'm going to put you into a 2-day training class the 3rd and 4th of June so that you have this in your back pocket. Okay? By the time you're done with that, you're going to be a dangerous person. All right? And it's going to change the way you look at things. What do I mean? Most people think this is what I do, this is how I make money, this is how I spend my day. But when you start to understand that instead of trading your time for dollars, okay, you can do this, I'm telling you, it'll change the way you look at yourself. Look at what I can do to make money. How do these people afford boats and the fancy cars and all this? I've seen it all, I've driven them all, and it's fine, okay? But if you've never done that and you've wondered what's the secret, this is basically what it is. Please don't think that the people that are making serious money all have big degrees from Yale. They don't. The traders I used to work for, 23, 24, 25 years old. Okay? Some of them were punks, and yet I'm running to get their dry cleaning because they're making $1 million. They're making $30,000 a day. There was a girl, all right, on the floor of the Amex. Her name was Laura Peterson. She was 20 years old. The only job she ever had before she got there was as a waitress in Buffalo, New York. Do you know that? She made $780,000 trading index options on the floor of the Amex before she could order an alcoholic beverage. Okay? So please don't tell me that there's some big secret to all this. You just learn what you need to learn and then you go do it. I've been doing it 22 years, gang. I love it. I get a kick out of it. And I get a kick out of being able to tell you about it. Okay, you want inspiration, come to that 2-day class. And then after you're done, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that you got it, and we're going to trade with you. And you don't just get to trade with anybody off the street. You're going to get to trade with the best. Now, I want you to understand something. We're going to take that formula, and we're going to put the pedal down with you. You might start with a practice account. You might start with a mini account. But you're going to get to trade with us for 22 sessions. And normally that's a $29.95 situation, but because it's Memorial Day and we're all excited and we got a bunch of new people coming on board, we're going to let you do that, right, as part of this whole membership. Okay? Normally that would be $3,000 to go trade live, but we're going to hold on to that bicycle seat with you, all right? And you're going to be able to trade with Josh Martinez. Everything that you learn, all right, once you have it, you'll never forget how. Right? You get on the bike, you learn how to ride it. Once you have it, you won't forget how. It's absolutely awesome. And I know you can do this. I know we can teach you, and I know we can trade with you. And if you're ready to do it, you just got to say so. All right? What I need you to do at this point is say, you know what? That's what I've been looking for. I got a formula. I got some people. Let's go. All right? That's what everybody's looking for. Stop reading the books and start doing this. Okay? 3 trades. I got to get you past it. Once I do, right, sky's the limit. But you got to let me know that that's something you want to do. How do you do it? You put a way for me to get in touch with you, a good number in the chat box, okay? Let's answer your questions. Let's dot I's and cross T's. I know you got questions because I've been going quick, and I'm sure you got a couple of questions. It is what it is. But let's make sure we answer them. Let's get you scheduled for that training class. You can pick the days. Oh, I can't make it June 3rd and 4th. Fine. Then we'll do it the week after that. Whatever. Get into the class. We'll make sure you got this, all right? And then we'll go trade together. Then we'll go do step 6. That's the fun one. All right, that's what success looks like. Here's what it is when it comes to our group. It's education, like I said. It's tools and it's training. Okay? The education, it's built into the program plus the 2-day class. The tool, well, that's the software. All right? You're going to use the same thing that we do. And then we're going to go trade together, gang. We do it every day. We do it round the clock. And if that's not even enough, that chief, right, he'll get you for 4 weeks, right, to make sure you got it. Because his thinking is this: if this is my organization, I'm going to make sure that every single person that gets involved, right, gets the results they're looking for. So he'll trade with you for 4 weeks to make sure that you got it. That's like working with the CEO. Not so bad. And the best part is it's all guaranteed. We'll let you do all this stuff for 60 days before you have to make any final decision on it. All right? Try it out, test it out. If you think you can do it, you got to give yourself a chance. All right? If you think that what I said today makes sense, right, you want to see it a couple more times, oh my God, those fibs work. It's like it goes right to the line. I know. Okay? And I needed to see it a couple of 3 times too. And I needed to go ahead and let it build my account from small to a little bigger to a little bigger. All right? But now, yeah, I get it. It's in my back pocket. And we'll give you 60 days to put it to the test before you have to make any decision whether you want to keep it or not. All right? Now, what's all this worth? All right? How much is it? Well, let me show this to you. A couple of ways to get started. This is the last part. All right? A couple of ways to get started. You just pick which one's best for you. All right? If you go to my website, what are you going to see? All those individual items, right, are listed. And they all have a value because they're all valuable. All right, add up all the individual values, you're looking at a $15,000 item. And you want to know something? Worth every penny. Okay? Some of you are like, yeah, it looks like it'll take me about 60 days to pay for that. It is what it is, all right? But stick with me a minute because I'm going to be able to save you a whole lot of money. All right? Yeah, the value is $15,000. It's awesome. Okay? But if you go to my website, here's what you're going to find. You can go to my website 7 days a week. Oh, and by the way, we're going to add $3,000 worth of value because you get to trade with Josh for 22 sessions. All right, so now you got an $18,000 value. And if you go to my website, here's what you're going to find. Okay, you're going to find at my website that you can get this package, this Ultimate Traders package. Okay, and it's listed there. Okay, not at the $15,000 or $18,000 retail, right? But for about half of that, you can go there 7 days a week with a MasterCard, Visa, American Express, or Discover, and you can get the program with everything in it that I showed you, right, for $79.95. Great. Any day of the week you can go do that. But here at Investor Inspiration, we do things a little bit different, okay? Because you've spent this time with me, you're absolutely ready to hit the ground running. You know the formula, okay? That's your foundation. It goes up from here, okay? But you're ready to get the ground running. Well, that's valuable to us, and your time's valuable, so we want to give you full value for that time. So here's what we say, okay? Here at the workshop, it's not $15,000 or $13,000 or even $8,000. We give you a scholarship right away, and we take $2,000 off the retail for the program, meaning you can get started today for a one-time investment of $5,995. And there's 2 ways to do it, all right? The majority of our students do what I call option A. They take advantage of the savings, all right? They pay it in full with a MasterCard, Visa, American Express, or Discover, all right? It's $59.95. It comes with 2 years subscription to my Ultimate Charting software. Normally that's $249 a month, but we're planning for your success. We'll give you that program for 2 years when you get started, all right? And we'll also give you that 60-day warranty. Now, if you need to stretch it out a little bit, that's option B. That's a financing option, all right? That says, hey, I don't know if I can fit $59.95 on my Visa card, but I want to stick my foot in the door and get started. What Joe said, that makes sense. I got to give myself a chance. Okay, what we do there is we just say put a little something down, and we can stretch it out a little bit, whatever you need. We'll come up with a customized plan for you, something that's affordable, that fits your budget. All right, nothing uncomfortable. If it's uncomfortable, we wouldn't expect you to start in the first place. Okay, but if it's something that fits your budget and you're thinking I can pay as I go, I'll make some pips, right, and pay as I go, that's an absolutely another option, another way to do it. Now with that, you get 6 months of charts, but you also get that 60-day warranty. And let me describe this exactly. You get all the tools, gang. You get to come to our 2-day class. You get the software, you get to trade with us, you trade with Josh 22 sessions, and you trade with the chief. All right, you're going to do that in your first 6 months. And most of you committed to that already. You said you'd give me 30 minutes a day. I'm going to use it, okay? At the end of 60 days, when you've got this whole formula thing in your pocket, all right, and you've got some results, right, you're going to make a decision then. And what's the decision going to be? Well, it'll be pretty simple. All right, if you're getting the results, you're going to stick with us. If the program paid for itself, if you're making $2,000 to $8,000, right, your first 2 months, and you look at that as something you can do consistently month after month, you're going to stick with the program. You come trade with us, okay? But if at the end of 2 months, even after you've trained, okay, even after you've used the program and learned it, all right, if you decide for whatever reason it's not for you, we're not for you, whatever, okay, here's what we'll say. Just give us back the stuff, and we'll refund every penny that you paid just for trying it out, okay? What am I trying to tell you? Your downside is 0. Your upside is what? Phenomenal, right? You just got to make a decision on whether or not you're worth the investment, all right? Now, the investment of dollars part, I'm protecting you. I give you a 60-day warranty, so there isn't a lot of risk there. However, you're also going to be investing some time. You got to decide, right, if this is going to be a good way to spend some time. But if you can get that fib thing in your back pocket, gang, if that's the only thing you get, this could be that like $1 million decision that you've made. Okay, if that fib thing does even half of what I showed you, okay, that's a game changer. That's a life-changing type of situation. You've got to decide, right, if you want to go capture that, but I'll protect you the whole time because I want you to do it, all right? And then we'll get kicked off, all right? This isn't just about learning a formula. It's about trading with you, giving you opportunities. Those 4-pound pairs, right, they're showing, well, it's not 7,000 pips anymore because you saw one of them's already done the run. Okay, but we're still looking at 5,200 pips. How would that be for a nice setup for the rest of 2016? A nice little $52,000 bump off a $2,000 account. Would that be the worst thing in the world? All right, we'll show you how to do it. The pounds are setting up. We'll do a special session so that can be, right, your kickoff bunch of trades to go with the $7,000 I showed you on the Aussie New Zealand. Well, if this is so easy, how come you're not doing it? I do it every day, and it's the same thing every day, okay? I like doing this because it breaks my pattern a little bit. I get to show you this. I get to be excited about it for you, okay? I do this every day, gang, and you know what? When my kids say to me, hey, Dad, what's for dinner? I got a good answer. Hey, Dad, I need a dress for the 8th grade dance. I got a good answer. You understand? I get to do that stuff, and I don't sweat, right? Whatever. Dad, can I download XYZ from, go ahead, right? Knock yourself out. And I don't spoil them, but I'll tell you what, I get to do things with a certain amount of ease because of this, because I learned this. And it's just a formula. It's not a secret, okay? You can do this, and the chief's going to get a hold of you to make sure that you got it. That's putting your trust, right, in the people that come to us. He's putting his trust in you that you can learn this and carry his reputation forward, okay? That's a mutual relationship because when you enroll, okay, at that point, you immediately flip the script. Now, we're on the clock. Now, we got to teach you, okay? And if you make a $6,000 investment, I know that you're going to show up. That gives us a fighting chance, okay? Give us 60 days. Give yourself 60 days. At the end of it, if it's not for you, it's not for you, all right? But there's nothing that you didn't learn today that you're not going to be able to do right away, all right? When you go trade with the chief, here's his track record, all right? That's just from 1 week. What is he doing? 1, 2, 3 buy, 1, 2, 3 sell on the 2-hour chart. Exactly what I taught you. No secret. It's right there. Come trade with him. He made 1,900 pips that week, all right? Same thing here. He averages about 1,500 to 4,000 pips every week, doing the same things I showed you. It's a formula. You just do it over and over and over and over again. Market's there to help you, right? 3,000 pips wouldn't be terrible. Even on a mini lot, that's $3,000 for the week. That's half your program, okay? And you still got 7 more weeks, right, to do some more trading before you have to make a final decision. Just take some action. You can do this, all right? It's all right in front of you. Just tell me if you're going to be an A or a B, all right? If you already put in your phone number, let me know which option you're taking advantage of. All right, like I said, the majority of the people that get started do option A. Look at that. There's Mauricio. There's Tom. Okay, you're both option A's. Right. If you're a B, right, that means you just need to stretch it out. You're going to finance it a little bit. You're going to give yourself a chance. There's Janice. There's Joyce. Hey, 2 ladies. Good. Good for you. Who else? Kevin and Aaron, you're both B's. Okay, that's perfect. All right, and good. You're doing it exactly right. Okay, if this is something you want to stick your foot in the door and give yourself a chance to do this, put your number in now, all right, and let's have that conversation. I'm going to have one of my education specialists call you right now, all right? Get your questions answered, get that warranty in writing. Make sure you get your download links for your online university and for your software. You get that stuff today, all right? Get the schedule so you can trade live with us. You got to be at that pound drop or that pound rebound seminar, I should say, because that's monstrous. Okay, only so many places you can have a $50,000 conversation. How about you have one of those every day? All right, that's a good time. That's good stuff. All right, that's why you came here. And for those of you who are saying, well, I want to get started, and I bet I can do that, but I don't know, Joe, is there an option C? I'll tell you what. I'm going to wrap this up now. Okay, it's been an awesome session. All right, and for those of you who are saying, I want to give myself a chance at this, I'm just kind of sweating the money part. Let me give you 90 seconds with this last offer, okay? You get started today, option A or B. I'm going to give you that leveling course. I'll give you 22 sessions with Josh, and I'll give you 4 weeks with the chief, okay? But if you say to yourself, man, I can't seem to figure out how to get my foot in the door here, that money thing's got me over a barrel, okay? Well, what if I could make this whole thing free? Would that get you off the fence? Because if it would, do me a favor, okay? Type a good phone number in the box and put the word free next to it, because there's absolutely a way to get this program for free, but you got to find out what it is. All right? Now, come on. It was $6,000. Now it's free. Listen, there's always a way to do something if you want it badly enough, okay? And every person that ever came to this workshop, all right, this webinar, has started the same way. They came in just like you. And they said, you know what, I'm looking for that thing to carry me over. They were either an A or a B, or in this case, they were a free. They typed in their number and said, yeah, let's have that conversation, okay? If that's you, then go ahead and do that now, all right? Because I just took the excuses away, all right? And I'm not a big fan of excuses. I'm a big fan of problem solving. If there's a hurdle to get over, let's figure them out one at a time, okay? And if that's the only thing that's bugging you, that's probably the easy part. Okay, let's get you learning formula. Let's get you doing this stuff. Let's get you doing it alongside some mentors and making some freaking money, because that's why you're here in the first place. That's why we do what we do. Okay, got families to feed. We got stuff that we want. And in this case, all right, if you don't have the $59.95 to take advantage of an opportunity, I don't want that to become a lifetime situation for you. I want you to be able to see things like this and say, yep, I'm doing that. All right? Too many colleges want to charge you for Psych 101, algebra, right, and some boring literature class, the same $6,000, okay? Here you get to learn how to trade the market, and there's $5 trillion a day waiting for you, okay? That's the difference, all right? I know nonsense when I hear it. Nonsense to me is paying an athletic fee at the university for some other kid to play lacrosse. I'd rather spend my money learning something that I can apply. So that's what I'm showing you today. And unlike, you know, the university, I'm giving you a 60-day warranty. How about that? So you can learn this, gang, over the next 60 days before you have to make any kind of decision. That's just a fair way to do it. And if you want to call in, tell you what, if you're an action person, you want to call in, I'll give you an extra 6 months of charts, and I'll even save you $500, okay, if you're the type of person that wants to start now. So with that, I'm done. Now it's up to you. I know you learned something. I hope you appreciated it. I had a good time, and I will absolutely, for those of you, all right, who've heard me before, you'll hear from me again, all right? But if you're getting started, we get to go have some fun together. So with that, have a great Memorial Day weekend. I'm looking forward to getting started with some of you who have already put your name in, right? Tony, I see your number. Same thing, Florence. Same thing, Pan, right? Carol, it includes everything, right? Monty, same thing. After 2 years, how much is the software? $249 a month, all right? So that'll be about 20 pips a month goes towards your software. Tony, I see your number there also. You're a free. Good for you. Jim, same thing. All right, Flo, do I have your number? I hope so. All right, and there it is. Okay, that's it, gang. My 90 seconds are up. My time's up, but I hope you had some fun. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye.